Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a real economic head-scratcher. How is it that Israel's economy seems to be thriving, showing incredible signs of strength, even while facing major regional conflict? I mean, how is that even possible? Let's break it down. Back in late 2025, right after a major conflict, the former head of the Mossad, Yossi Cohen, asked this very question. And he really hits on this stunning paradox at the core of Israel's economy. It's something that seems to fly in the face of all conventional wisdom. Because once you look past all the noise and the headlines about conflict, and you actually focus on the data, a totally different story starts to emerge. It's a story of some serious economic resilience. So let's dig into the numbers. Okay, what's really fascinating here is what this tells us about confidence. Normally, in a situation like this, you'd think money would be flying out of the country, right? You'd expect the currency to weaken, the stock market to tank, but we're seeing the exact opposite. A strong shekel, a rising stock index, and a ton of trading activity. These are not the signs of a panicked market. They signal a deep belief from investors that the economy is solid. And look, this confidence, it isn't just happening inside Israel's borders. Israeli innovation is making some major waves on the world's biggest financial stages. First up, let's talk about Navan. This is an Israeli-founded travel company that just hit the NASDAQ with a massive IPO, raising $923 million. A number that big? That's not just an investment. That's a huge global vote of confidence. And then there's this company, Weavy, an AI startup that was so promising, just 1 year after it was founded, the design software giant Figma snapped it up for over $200 million. That's an absolutely incredible valuation for a company that's, a year old? Just wild. And it's not just about these individual big wins. And what was a really powerful symbol of just how integrated the economies are, leaders from 450 different Israeli-founded startups, all of them based in New York City, got invited to ring the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. 450. That number just shows you the sheer scale of Israel's presence right at the heart of global finance. So here's the bottom line. As investor Avi Eyal puts it right here, the international community is managing to see past all the regional complexity. They're zeroing in on the quality, the talent, and the world-class products that are being built. So what is the secret sauce here? What's fueling this powerful economic engine, even when it's under so much pressure? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is this unique concentration of what people call serial entrepreneurs. These are founders who've done it before, they have a proven track record. And it turns out Israel has one of the highest concentrations of them in the world, second only to the US. And it's a phenomenon that's really deeply tied to the country's unique culture and military structures. And that experience, it translates directly into a massive funding advantage. We're talking 4 to 5 times more capital from VCs for startups led by these proven founders compared to someone trying it for the first time. This creates this incredible, powerful cycle of investment that really just fuels the entire high-tech sector. But get this, innovation is also coming from a place you'd probably never expect. Israel's internal security service, the Shin Bet. Yeah, through this really unique accelerator program, the Shin Bet is basically turning its own internal security problems into cutting-edge technologies that have both military and civilian uses. These are literally startups born from conflict, and they're creating this powerful pipeline of innovation that solves really critical problems. Okay, so this story isn't just about billion-dollar IPOs and global tech. That's all great, but how does this economic strength actually translate to daily life for regular people? Let's zoom in a bit on the domestic front. So in a huge contrast to the high-stakes world of defense tech, ordinary citizens are seeing some real tangible benefits. When the national economy is strong, it gives the government room to provide some relief. Like right here at the gas pump, prices hitting a 2-year low, that's a real-world impact you feel in your wallet. And you can see this strength pretty much everywhere you look. We're seeing a huge $200 million investment in energy, like with the new Qasem power station. In defense, there's this massive $3.7 billion missile deal with India that's about to be approved. On the ground, new luxury hotels are breaking ground in Jerusalem to bring in more tourists. And hey, even in sports, you're seeing big money sponsorships, like for the Hapoel Jerusalem basketball team. It all shows an economy that's really firing on all cylinders. So what does all of this point to? Well, it suggests there's this unique national characteristic, this knack for consistently turning challenges into opportunities. And you hear this echoed by business leaders on the ground, like Idai El-Natan here.
They chalk it up to this deep-seated resilience and a spirit of leadership that doesn't just push the country forward, but also attracts that all-important global capital we've been talking about.
Now, if you want to see how these huge macro trends actually affect daily life on the street, we can take a look at the southern city of Kiryat Gat. So, a U.S. military command arrived to monitor the Gaza's ceasefire, and its presence has created this totally unexpected cultural and economic shift on the ground. You've got local businesses adapting, falafel stands taking orders in English, even a whole new dynamic on dating apps. It's a fascinating little microcosm of how these big global forces can reshape a local community. So that leaves us with a final, pretty provocative thought. In a world that seems to be getting more and more unstable, this ability to not just survive storms, but to actually use them for growth, well, that's a powerful, if paradoxical, asset. So is this kind of resilience the new model for economic success? It's definitely a question worth watching.